Hello, this is Darice. Welcome back to Moon Life Astro. If you're new to my channel, we talk about planning, productivity, and astrology. This is Monday, where I usually focus on a productivity process or hack. Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you find this helpful. For the month of March, I decided that we would focus on batching. I thought this would be an appropriate time to do this since we are in a Mercury retrograde. We also have a Venus retrograde. Mercury is all about how we process information, how we learn things, how we digest information. So, since Mercury retrogrades are a great opportunity to review how we do things, how we organize our systems, I thought batching would be the perfect process to focus on. And each week of the month of March, I've been focusing on a specific area that you could batch as an example. And again, for those of you who may not have seen my earlier videos, batching is where you set aside a certain amount of time to do one specific activity. So for today, we're going to talk about batching financial activities and that sort of thing. But before I get into the actual how-tos, I'm just going to go over why you might want to do this sort of thing. Basically, as solopreneurs, we can be very overwhelmed by all of the things that we have to do, all of the tasks, the to-do list, balancing the business with our personal lives, family. Some of you may still have a day job like I do. I have a day job as well as I'm building my own astrology and planning business. So, batching helps reduce decision fatigue, trying to decide what to do and when to do it. And so it just gives up, well, I find using batching, it frees up a lot of my energy when I know I'm going to set aside a certain amount of time during a particular time of the week to do certain things. And of course, you can always be flexible. You can plan it out ahead of time, but sometimes you can interrupt it. Sometimes life happens and you have to do it again. But at least we can start with the intention of saying, hey, for this time during the week, I'm going to only focus on this type of activity for, say, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Some of you may have the luxury and the privilege of being able to focus on a particular type of task for an entire day, maybe even an entire week. At the end of the day, always do what works best for you and your life. You know what's best for you. So today, what I want to focus on is how to batch things like financial administrative tasks, things like invoicing, bookkeeping, and budgeting. And then towards the end, I will also give you a breakdown of what I'm calling a financial power hour checklist. So definitely stay around for that. Now, some of you may be in a situation where you're handling all of your financial tasks randomly throughout the week. This can definitely lead to a feeling of being scattered, overwhelmed, and then you're constantly switching back and forth between tasks, and that can drain your mental energy. So the solution then is to batch similar tasks together so you can focus, you can get them done faster, and it'll reduce decision fatigue. So, for example, instead of doing your invoicing one by one, you set aside a dedicated time, say every Friday, do them all at once. This will save time and it will keep your cash flow predictable. So, for example, maybe you pick one day of the week. Maybe it's Finance Fridays or Money Mondays. And you can decide if this particular financial admin batching will be done by monthly, weekly, or monthly. It just depends on your business needs. So that's the step one, choose the money day. Step two, invoicing and payment tracking. Set aside 15 to 30 minutes during your batching session to send invoices, follow up on unpaid ones, and track your income. Now, you can use software like QuickBooks, Wave, or FreshBooks to streamline this, and I'm not sponsored. I don't use any of those. I'm still pretty old school. I use simple sheets and actually old school paper and pencil. I know it's kind of ridiculous. It's very outdated. And it is something I'm moving towards. It's something I have been looking at. I just haven't been able to make a decision. And this is a Venus retrograde where Venus rules love, relationships, and money. So that is something on my list to at least look at those systems, get some more information on it, and then maybe I'll be able to decide and make a decision, and maybe I'll implement it then once Venus has gone direct in April. That could be one approach. But for right now, like I said, just find a system that works for you. And then you can automate your invoice reminders, and that will help reduce the manual follow up. And I definitely do that. I at least have a certain reminder set in my cell phone for either invoices or particular payments. That helps me stay on top of it. Step 3, bookkeeping and categorizing expenses. You log your expenses and income in a spreadsheet or an accounting software, like I mentioned before. Review the credit card and bank statements for accuracy. And then you could set up a bank account sweep where you transfer money into certain accounts that are set aside for savings, business reserves, and taxes. In particular, this is a good time of year to be thinking about that since we are in tax season. Step 4, budgeting and cash flow review. You can track your upcoming expenses and revenue streams. This will put you in a position where you can forecast your income for the upcoming months or the upcoming few months, depending on the flow of your business and how that works. And then, of course, you can adjust pricing or payment plans if necessary. Step 5, keep receipts and keep them organized. And you can use, for example, Google Drive, Dropbox, or an expense tracking app like You Need a Budget. And this is not sponsored by this. I've only heard about You Need a Budget. I've looked at it a few times, but I haven't decided if it's something I want to do. But I know a few people who love it, say it's a great thing to use. And again, like I said, I'm pretty old school. I'm still using sheets and paper and pencil. So there you go. Now, when you're doing this tax preparation and looking at your deductions, maybe you just dedicate 10, 15 minutes of your actual financial batching session to just categorizing the tax deductible expenses. That might be one way to get started. And also look at your estimated tax payments, because again, we are in tax season. But even if you're watching this when it's not tax season, it's always good, at least on a quarterly basis, to look at your estimated taxes. Some people like to pay their taxes quarterly. It makes the burden a little easier to swallow. Just something to consider. And again, it totally depends on your own situation. I am not a financial planner. This is just a suggestion. And now the other thing that you can do on a financial admin batching time, whether it's a day or a week, organize and declutter the digital files. This makes it easier to keep track of what you have going on and what's going to be coming up for you. So an email management tip, you can create folders for invoices, receipts, and financial documents. I do that myself. You can even set it up, and I know in Gmail at least you can have certain things automatically flagged and or sent to specific folders based on keywords. I think you go into settings and organizing. I can't remember how I set it up. I set it up a long time ago, but you can look into that. It's pretty easy. You can just do a Google search and it'll give you the instructions on how to set up sorting sorting emails by labels is what is called in Gmail at least. So create a folder or a label folder for invoices, receipts, and financial documents. An email filter can also be for other finance related emails, maybe relationships you have with vendors and contracts, that sort of thing. It just depends on how your mind works, what's easy for you to look through and organize those types of important information when you need it. And you can also set up templates for responding to common client payment or inquiries. I like to use Word docs and just have those templates, and then I can just copy and paste as I need. There's also cloud storage and file organization. That might be another activity that you could work on. And again, you don't have to do all of this in one day. You could set aside your financial batching and you can take each of these categories and just do it, one day at a time or spread it out over a week. Some of you may want to spread these suggested categories throughout an entire month. Just see what works best for you. So again, cloud storage and file organization, figure out how you want to store, how you want to store your financial documents. And again, you can do that in Google Drive, maybe Notion or Dropbox folder. And again, not sponsored. I've used Notion in the past for other things. I haven't used it for my financial stuff, but that might be something I might look into in the future. And just keep your naming system very simple. That way it's easy for you to keep track of it. For example, 25 March invoice client name, something along those lines. And then another area that you might want to focus on could be password and security tips. You might feel comfortable using a password manager for tracking your banking and accounting logins, or you may want to enable two-factor authentication for financial accounts. So again, just a suggestion, things to look at for when you're setting up batching times for your financial administrative task. So maybe one batching session is about email management tips. Another financial batching situation could be about cloud storage and file organization. And then another batching session could be about password and security tips. Now you can also automate financial admin tasks. It just depends on, like I said previously, we are in Mercury retrograde. So my words are a little slow here, but we're going to get through it. We're going to make this happen. So again, automating financial admin tasks. You can automate invoicing your reminders and recurring payments. That could be through Stripe, PayPal, or your accounting software. You can also set up auto-saving receipts using apps like Expensify or QuickBooks or Self-Employed. And also you can do that for subscription and bill tracking apps like Truebill or You Need a Budget. And again, I'm not sponsored by any of those. I've just read about them, and I've also heard from other folks who say they like these things and that's what they've done for themselves. I myself, full transparency, I am not there yet. I haven't automated all of that. I've only automated payment reminders for the most part. How to set up a simple automation system. Basically, just choose one automation to implement this week. That might be an easy way to get started. Could be invoice reminders or receipt tracking. Basically, just start small and expand as you get comfortable. And then test your system monthly to ensure that it's working effectively for you. And now basically at the end, I'm going to give you a suggested financial power hour to work on. Oh, and if you like this video, if you're receiving value from it, do remember to like and subscribe. It does help me get the message out to other people, and hopefully this is resonating for you. And if it is, please comment below, financial or admin, and that would be great. And also feel free to leave any comments or questions that you have in the responses below to the video. So now the financial power hour. This is basically a structured 1 hour session where you batch all your financial tasks. And this is only if you're feeling overly ambitious and ready to jump right in. So the 60-minute breakdown, you have a 10-minute time to review your invoices and send payment reminders. 15 minutes to log income and expenses in your bookkeeping system. 10 minutes to organize digital receipts and update tax deductions. 15 minutes to review budget and forecast your income, 10 minutes to declutter financial emails and check for automation updates. That's basically it. So let me know what resonated with you. If there's anything in particular that stood out for you, something that was a major aha for you, I would love to hear from you. If you have questions about it, if you have suggestions on other topics or videos you'd like me to cover in this space or any other area of planning and productivity, I would definitely love to receive your feedback on that. I am grateful to all of you who do listen and who subscribe and support the channel on a regular basis. I have recently opened up a new paid membership. It's only $9 a month, and it's called Lunar Efficiency Hub. It's on the school platform, SKOOL. Once a month, I'll do a live Q&A where I go through basic planning and productivity principles. And when you join, you automatically get a free ebook on how to use planning with the moon in your planning and productivity. The moon goes through each astrological sign approximately every 2.5 days. And based on the attributes of that astrological sign, it can be a great way to decide or indicate suggested activities for the day, both personally and professionally. It's how I've been planning and organizing my life for the last 2 years. And it's made a huge difference in my productivity and giving me so much more peace of mind and calm. And I would love to share that with more folks. So if you'd like to receive that ebook, again, you would just join the membership. It's only $9 a month. And also, I want to create a community where people can work together one another and just support each other as we grow professionally and spiritually. And I think it'll just be helpful just to have other people to support you on this journey as we're learning to organize. One of the reasons why I like to share planning and productivity in particular for people is I know how stressful it is to manage our time and our activities. I know many of the people who are attracted to me consider themselves light workers or healers. And I want us to be strong enough to be able to make the most of our time so that we can really serve as many people as we are called to serve. And I know a big piece of that for many of us is just reducing the overwhelm about the brass tacks of how to actually get things done. And so it's definitely helped me be of more service to more people. And I just want to continue to share that with others. Again, thank you for your time. If you have not had a chance, please do like this video. If you've not had a chance and you are getting value from my videos, please do subscribe to the channel. With that, wishing you love, peace, and joy. And I hope you're taking care of yourself during this eclipse season in particular. I know the energy is very intense. I record my videos ahead of time, so I'm not entirely sure what's happening in the collective, but just based on the astrology and just what I know about 2025, I'm sure things are probably still pretty tense out there. So pace yourself, take breaks as you need to. Remember to stay hydrated, get fresh air, take walks, exercise, dance, have fun, spend quality time with loved ones, all the good stuff. Wishing you lots of love, joy, and peace. Easefully yours, Darice.